talk about food. So this is a hot mess. So before we start, I'm gonna go ahead and get this cleaned up. So, okay. Well, this is slightly better. It still feels like a hot mess, but we'll go ahead and get started. So you're looking at about 3 weeks worth of food that I'm gonna eat all by my lonesome on the John Muir Trail in about a month. I'm actually mailing out some resupplies tomorrow. So this is kind of the last time I'm gonna have all of this stuff in one place. The resupplies are going in 5-gallon buckets. I got 3 of these things. So we're gonna be resupplying in Reds Meadow, Muir Trail Ranch, and then Independence. We're gonna be taking a 0 in Independence. So 3 buckets, 3 different resupplies, and then when I pack, we actually leave from North Carolina, I'm gonna have a few days worth of food in my, told you it was a hot mess, goodness gracious, just coming apart. But when we leave, I'm gonna be packing a few days worth of food in the bear canister. But this is most of the food. I actually have a little more. There's some dinners and whatnot in the freezer, but you're pretty much looking at it. So I'll try to break down how I tried to approach this, because this is the first time I've ever done anything at this scale, and tried to think about a month's worth of food all at once. And I've got a really, really bad feeling that I'm forgetting something, but I just don't know what it is yet. So in an effort to try to simplify planning, I came up with a meal system. So I came up with 3 breakfasts, 3 lunches, and 4 dinners. And essentially that's what I'm gonna eat throughout the trip. And then just rinse and repeat. So I guess we'll start off with breakfast. So breakfast number 1, I have taken one of my favorite cereals. So in this case, Honey Bunches of Oats. And I've taken the vacuum seal bags, and I have not vacuum sealed them. I actually learned on our MST segment 4 trip that when you vacuum seal these things, they become, well, I knew they became hard as rocks, but when you're packing them in this bear canister, it's a lot harder to pack. They don't fit in as well. So they're sealed, but these are not vacuum sealed, or they're not vacuum sealed. So they're a little easier to pack and fit into nooks and crannies. So, but anyways, Honey Bunches of Oats, and then just kind of in a serving size. And then for milk, I'm using this stuff, Nido, by Nestle. I found on the interwebs that this is, as far as like dehydrated milk, powdered milk, this is good because it's got extra calories. I think it's actually like baby formula. So yeah, just some extra calories, because calories are what it's all about on this trip. I'm gonna be burning a few. So food is fuel. And so I wanna have lots of calories. So breakfast number 1 is Honey Bunches of Oats, and then I've got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of those. Yeah, so 6 of those. Breakfast number 2 is oatmeal, but of course, got to jazz it up a little bit. I thought about just taking the packets, like the instant oatmeal packets, and then just taking a couple of those for each day. And I found on the MST segment 4 trip that just wasn't enough food for me in the morning to kind of get me at least to lunch without getting hungry. And so I've taken 2 packets of instant oatmeal, just the regular, original, non-flavored oatmeal, and I've added some, let's see here, freeze-dried strawberries, freeze-dried blueberries, sesame seeds, sliced almonds, and dried cranberries. And then threw in some of that Nido powdered milk, and put that all together. And then all I need to do when I'm ready to eat breakfast, tear this open, hot water, let it do its thing to rehydrate, and then oatmeal. So that's just a little, it just kind of jazzes up the oatmeal a little bit, helps it stick to my bones a little bit in the morning. But again, it's all about calories. The 3rd breakfast, I guess I still need to package. Let me see if I still got it. Yeah. So my 3rd breakfast is actually a new creation that I'm not 100% sure on. but I'm gonna try it anyway. But like the same theme where the oatmeal, just packets of oatmeal wasn't enough for me. When we did our segment 4 trip a couple of weeks ago, I did grits, and just a couple of packets of grits, throw some water, eat it right out of the packet. And it was okay, but again, I was getting hungry, you know, mid-morning, well before lunch. So my plan for this trip is I've got instant grits. These are just generic Food Lion brand cheese grits. And then I'm gonna take the vacuum sealer bags and just combine that so that that's something to eat out of. And then going to chomp up some Spam and throw that in there. And then that's gonna be breakfast number 3. Oh, and Pop-Tarts. Throw in a Pop-Tart or 2, just for something sweet. So that's breakfast number 3. And then just rinse and repeat for breakfast. I think that's it. Oh, and coffee. How could I forget coffee, right? So I already have some Black Rifle instant coffee. So I'm gonna use that up. And then when I'm out of Black Rifle coffee, another solid instant coffee choice that I have found is Alpine Start. It's just good. I mean, for instant coffee, it's good. It tastes like if you were to brew it at home. That's what it tastes like. It doesn't have that bitter taste or anything like that. So that's pretty much breakfast. But my brother, on our segment 4 trip, and I'm pretty sure he's going to do this again. He is harder than woodpecker lips, and he's actually he did protein powder. And so I actually didn't eat anything. I kind of have to sink my teeth into something to eat. On trips like this, sometimes you eat because you have to eat. It's not necessarily because you're liking the taste of the food. It's literally fuel for your body so that you can keep going. So I don't think I'm quite to the protein powder level yet. Leonidas did the same thing when we hiked with him. The man's just a machine, and he just throws some protein powder and makes a shake and he's good to go. It just ain't me. I'm the fat kid. Clearly I gotta have food. So let's move on to lunch. So in general, every lunch is gonna have a tortilla. So I've got whole wheat tortillas, and then just for kicks, I've got some flavor tortillas. I got these black bean and citrus tortillas. I actually had them out on the segment 4 trip, and they were pretty tasty. But again, for planning purposes, really only have 3 different lunches. So lunch number 1, I discovered these beef sticks. So I'm trying to kind of like eat as healthy as I can. Not necessarily, I mean, there's a lot of stuff on this table that is not healthy. Like my mountain of Snickers bars over here. But I'm trying to at least eat good food. You know, taking a handful of Slim Jims. I wasn't crazy about, you know, maybe for a weekend trip, but for a month, I'm trying to just make better decisions. So I found these on the interwebs, and it's called Chomps. You can find them on Trader Joe's, or in Trader Joe's. I've seen them there. But I bought these directly from Chomps because they're having a sale. But essentially, let me see, I got one that's already open. This is so I got a few. This is jalapeno beef sticks, and then this is like a variety pack. So they got all different kinds in here. Original, but anyways, that's what it looks like. It's 9 grams of protein, 90 calories per stick, and my plan is to have probably at least 2, but I've got enough where I could do up to 3 or 4 per meal if I really wanted to. But these look pretty tasty, and probably just a little more wholesome than whatever it is that goes into a Slim Jim. I'm not 100% sure. But anyway, so I've got Chomps, and then what was the other flavor? Cranberry habanero. If you haven't figured it out yet, I have a pepper belly. I like spicy stuff, so like to jazz it up a little bit. And so that's so those are my beef sticks. And then kind of like my go-to lunch when I'm normally camping on like 3-4 day trips is summer sausage and cheese. Cannot get enough summer sausage and cheese. But summer sausage doesn't really pack well. Like some of this food that I mail out tomorrow, I'm not gonna see until for at least a month. And Lord knows where it's gonna go between then and now. If it's gonna sit out in the sun, what's gonna happen to it, because it's in these 5-gallon buckets. So I know the critters aren't gonna get to it, but as far as like where it's stored and everything, trying to think smart. And so summer sausage is generally shelf stable, but again, I'm trying not to push my luck, because if I open up my resupply box when I'm out there and food's bad, like it's spoiled somehow, that's a bad day. I don't want to be in that kind of a situation. So that being said, the beef sticks kind of check the summer sausage block for like that meat, but cheese is kind of a tough one. And I thought about like trying to buy cheese when we're out there, because the John Muir Trail is interesting in that there are places along the way, even though you're out in the middle of the Sierras, there are places along the way that you could resupply on the economy if you wanted to. It's just not as easy. So I wanted to figure out some type of cheese equivalent. And then I remembered when Joe and I did the kayaking trip down the Neuse River last year, I found these at Trader Joe's. These are oven-baked cheese bites, and they're freaking good. They definitely taste like cheese, and they're just kind of like a crunchy cracker type of thing, but they're bite size, and they're really, really tasty, and they taste like you're eating fresh cheese. And the bag says it's imported from Italy, so I guess that means it's good. But anyway, so I've got cheese bites, and right here in front of me. And I told you again, I was trying to make good decisions as far as like food. So this one's from my mom. I'm bringing broccoli. This is, again, from Trader Joe's, is freeze-dried broccoli. And I discovered these last year as well on the kayaking trip. But they've got, it's freeze-dried broccoli, so it's shelf-stable, and they put just light seasoning on it, but then you just kind of eat it like a snack, and it's really good, actually. So I've got broccoli, and then just because I was feeling fat, I got some okra, too. So freeze-dried broccoli, freeze-dried okra, and then let's see what else we got. Obviously, tuna. So I got some bumblebee tuna and some Star-Kissed chicken creations, you know, just kind of varying it up a little bit, just so I'm trying not to eat the same thing every single day, because I don't want to get burned out. Variety is the spice of life and all. And then Spam, again. I've got probably one Spam packet for lunch, but I'm not using Spam a lot for the lunches. I'm kind of relying mostly on beef sticks, tuna. I'll throw some Spam in there. But yeah, that's lunch. And my thought process for both my breakfasts and my dinners are something fast, something that I can eat quickly, because in the mornings, we're generally, Joe and I like to get up and get going. We're not one of those that kind of sit there for a while. And so I want something that is easy to put together and easy to clean up and then ready to go. So lunches are quick and easy. So then we'll move to dinners, I guess, and then snacks. So with dinners, I did 4 dinners, and everything is dehydrated here at my house. And so I did chili, which is my go-to staple. The recipe chili that I've got is like super easy to make, super easy to dehydrate, and so I've got a handful of those. What else we got? Trying a new recipe. I don't even know really what this tastes like, but it's hash. And so I've taken ground turkey, dehydrated that, and then green peppers and onions, a copious amount of garlic, and some salt and pepper, and then freeze-dried hash browns, and put that all together in a bag. And each of my dehydrated dinners as far as amount, like quantity goes, I aimed for between like 175 to like no more than 190 grams for each meal. That's just kind of my tweaking. I have found that that's kind of where I want my portions to be. So that's roughly 180 grams of hash. So that's one meal. We talked about chili. This is by far my favorite meal, and that's shepherd's pie. The recipe belongs to the Schill brothers, but it's ground turkey, assorted vegetables. So they used frozen vegetables, and so I did as well. And then I've supplemented with some fresh mushrooms. I think I threw in another pepper and some onions, just to kind of juice it up a little bit for some extra veggies. But anyway, so you dehydrate all of or you rehydrate all of that, and then at the very end, when everything's rehydrated, there's instant mashed potatoes that you throw in at the end and mix it all up and eat it. And it is by far my favorite dehydrated meal of all time. It's just good every single time. It's one of those meals that I actually look forward to eating. Like if I'm thinking about dinner throughout the day, I think about my shepherd's pie and I'm like, oh yeah. But anyways, yeah, shepherd's pie, and then my last dinner is just good old-fashioned spaghetti. And to get my nutrition in with spaghetti, I've got ground turkey. I threw in chopped onion, chopped green pepper, and then spaghetti sauce, some tomato paste, and then angel hair pasta, because just dehydrates better than the big pasta. And put it all together, and then just dehydrate it. And again, aiming for 175 to 190 grams for my spaghetti. So that's dinner number 4. So let's talk about stuff that I'm eating during the day. The thing that I discovered a while ago are these ProMeal bars. They're at REI. I buy them on Amazon now because it's cheaper, but I buy them by the box. And then the one that I really like is Super Berry and Greens. And I will usually I've got at least one allocated to eat during the day throughout the trail. Because what I'll find is somewhere between breakfast and lunch, you're gonna want some calories. And so this is just an easy way to bring it out, eat half the bar or whatever, and then stash it away, and then I'll eat the other half in the afternoon. Or if I'm feeling really fat, I'll eat the whole thing all at once. But it's super dense, so it's actually, for me, it's hard to eat all at once. But it's very, very good. It's not sweet. It's got nuts and grains and just all kinds of stuff in there. And so it's healthy. It's got good calories, and it actually staves off hunger and starvation. So those are the ProMeal bars. We'll talk about drink mixes. So I've repackaged these myself, but this is made by Tailwind Nutrition, and I've discovered them through Leonidas, and I think Crow also drinks this, maybe not. If I'm wrong, sorry, Crow. But I bought their big bag, 50 servings. This is a raspberry buzzed, and then there's also, what did I get? It's like a tropical flavor or something like that. But I bought their big bag, and then I reportioned it out myself, put it in these little packets and sealed it with my vacuum sealer. Just because it's a little cheaper to buy it in bulk. They do sell these in individual packets, but I'm just trying to save money, because obviously I'm doing a lot. So I'm just trying to save money where I can. But Tailwind Nutrition, so this has got electrolytes, it's got all kinds of vitamins and goodies, and it's more than just electrolytes. It's fuel, and then it's also got caffeine in it, so just a little extra boost. Because what I found is after lunch, I start running out of energy, and especially if we've got a hard climb or something like that. Having some extra fuel in the tank makes a big difference as far as happiness levels. And so I found this tailwind stuff actually really helps. So my rhythm that I've gotten into is when we stop for lunch, I will take one of these and put it in my water, and it dissolves completely. There's very little actual taste. You can kind of taste a little bit, but it's not like an in-your-face taste. And you can just drink it, and it keeps me going throughout the day, just kind of that sustained energy. So it's actually really helped me in past hikes. So that's why they kept my business. So thank you to Leonidas for letting me know about Tailwind. So that's the electrolytes, and then I'm also taking just good old-fashioned Gatorade, and this is for like in the mornings if I want some electrolytes. It's also something if I want something besides water to drink with dinner. Gatorade, orange is my favorite flavor, so I got a couple packs of Gatorade. So let's talk sweets. So Sour Patch Kids are going to be with me on every single outdoor trip of any kind. They are like crack cocaine for me. If the government made this illegal tomorrow, I would drive to Mexico and buy Sour Patch Kids. They're just amazing. So lots of Sour Patch Kids. And then generally for dessert, at dinner, I'll have Snickers bars. So I've got a ridiculous amount of Snickers bars over here. And I have thought about the fact that they're gonna get kind of gooey and melty. Just gonna see what happens. Snickers bars are good because they're sweet, but they've also got a little bit of oomph to them. They got the nuts and nougat and all that other stuff in there, so they actually are kind of filling too. So Snickers bars are a good thing. So that's it. And I think, oh, I almost forgot. Also in my oatmeal breakfasts, I wanted to, again, talk about calories and everything like that. I just wanted to kind of juice it up a little bit. So I've got individual packets of peanut butter. This is the Justin's. It's the same people that make all the different nut butters. This is the cheapest, and I'm just going for a little bit of flavor and obviously calories. So this is their honey peanut butter. And the plan is that this goes in with like my oatmeal or the cereal or anything like that, just to kind of get some extra calories. And I've got 10 packets of these, so I'll probably bring them and just have for a snack and that kind of thing, just to get some extra juice, some extra calories in there. But yeah, so that's my food for the John Muir Trail. There's a whole bunch, and quite frankly, it has been a lot of work to compile all this and put it together. The dehydrating is very labor intensive. It's definitely worth it. I probably save a little bit of money as far as like, as opposed to like buying, the freeze-dried stuff, Mountain House or Backpacker's Pantry or Peak Refuel or whatever. But I like knowing what I'm eating, and I like good food. And so this way I know I'm eating good food that's fresh. Everything that I prepare for dehydrating is all fresh. So that's why I've kind of stepped away from store-bought food as far as freeze-dried stuff and gone with making my own. So yeah, I think that's it. At some point, all of this food is gonna go in this bad boy. But yeah, so if you've got any questions about anything you see, I've gotten a few requests to do like recipe videos, so maybe at some point in the future you'll see me go all Martha Stewart and do a cooking show on making these dehydrated meals. I just don't have the time right now. I'm trying to put all this together and get it out in enough time so that it's there in California when we get there. So I just don't have the time to break down a cooking video. But at some point, I promise it'll happen. But yeah, so all of that's eventually gonna go in the bear canister. And then all of that's getting packed up tonight. and then everything's getting mailed out. And so I won't see any of this food again for a few weeks, and I'll be out in California. So, but anyways, if you've got any questions about anything that I've talked about, or something I didn't talk about, just let me know down in the comments. I'm happy to chat. This particular video is probably going to get released while I'm already out on the trail. So if I don't immediately respond, just be patient. Whenever I get reception and I can get through to my phone, I'll answer as much as I can. But I appreciate you watching, and hopefully you got something out of this, and I'll see you out there. Good time.